Hello everyone. Now in the last video I said that I would underline the new content in my introductory slide here. I changed my mind. I'm not going to do that. But today we're looking at efficiency and we're looking at efficiency in relation to the PPF. All right, so in the first video we looked at some basics. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Now efficiency we come back to over and over again, so it really makes sense to take some time to understand this and understand it well. When we're looking at efficiency, you can look at it at an individual level, so your output. You can look at it at a firm level or a business level, and you can look at it across the whole economy, just like we can do for other concepts like scarcity and opportunity cost. But mostly for us in Year 12, we're really focusing on it in a broader sense, so how the efficiency of the economy. Now, remember, we want to allocate our resources efficiently because it improves the well-being of society, or the welfare, or the living standards. They all mean the same thing. Basically, it means you and me have a better life if we can allocate resources efficiently. So what actually is efficiency? Now, it's a measure of how an economy actually uses its resources, land, labor, capital. But in Year 12, what we do in Year 12 purposes, it has no measurement per se. It's not quantifiable. If you go on to study it in university, then you can, quote unquote, measure it, but for now we're just thinking about it in abstract terms. Okay, so if it feels a little bit airy-fairy, that's okay. It is at first. So very, very basically, if we increase or we maximize or we improve our efficiency, then that's a good thing, and vice versa. Okay, and those are the kind of statements we're going to make in Year 12. Now, there's a couple of ways to think about efficiency. There's actually 4 types, and they're in the study design. So let's get into those. The first one is called productive efficiency. Sometimes it's known as technical efficiency. Now, productive efficiency just means getting the most out of your resources as you possibly can. So if we're looking at your productive efficiency, it'd just be getting the most study done or the most work done in any given day, right? Doesn't matter what work you do. From an economy's perspective, it's about producing the most goods and services. So we say maximum output. Now, to achieve productive efficiency, we assume a couple of things. We don't waste any of our resources, land, labor, capital, and that our resources are operating at maximum productivity. So we're getting the most out of those resources. Over here on the PPF, this blue line here is our productive efficiency. So this whole blue line, anywhere on this PPF, is productively efficient. Okay? All right, let's look at allocative efficiency. And this shows the combination of goods and services that best meets the preferences of society. That's a bit of a mouthful, but really it's challenging because how do we decide what's the best combination of goods and services as a whole, right? So we have to make some assumptions about what is good for society. But we will look further into this later, into this concept of what's good for society when we look at market failure. So really it's about producing the right goods and services, okay? The right stuff that makes us happy. Technically, some of the textbooks are going to say that it's a point where you can't make anyone better off without making someone else worse off, but it's up to you how you want to think about it. Really, we can think of it as pretty abstract, like producing the good stuff. Over here on the PPF, it's somewhere on this PPF. Now, we don't really know where it would be unless we surveyed society every day, the entire population, and asked them what they'd prefer, iron ore or cars. Of course, that's ridiculous. And we're going to learn that the market effectively performs this sort of survey function anyway. Wow, amazing, I know. So eventually we find out that the market determines the combination that's allocatively efficient, or the combination of goods and services that's allocatively efficient. So the market tells us what to produce and where to produce on the PPF. Okay, there's a lot going on there, but really mostly what you want to do in Year 12 is just say, there's some action that either improves allocative efficiency or makes allocative efficiency worse. Okay, I hope I didn't do too much. So it's anywhere on that PPF, it depends. Let's have a look at dynamic efficiency. Now, productive and allocative efficiency are by far common and the most important, but dynamic and the next one, intertemporal, also important, but less common. Dynamic efficiency is how quickly we can reallocate resources to produce different things. And that's to meet the changing needs of and wants of society. Really, it's about how quickly we can reach allocative efficiency. So for example, the economy no longer wants carbon energy, they want clean energy. So how quickly can we reallocate resources to do that? Well, turns out quite slowly. So on the PPF, it's basically determining how quick we can move from one point here to another point there. Okay, and finally, intertemporal efficiency refers to balancing our current needs and wants as a society with our future needs and wants. And you can really think about them as being conflicting, the efficiencies. So intertemporal efficiency might be conflicting with allocative and productive and dynamic efficiency, because it's hard to produce the maximum now and also balance out what you need in the future. So, very simple illustration, this is the housing shortage in Australia. We need lots of houses, but obviously if we cut down all the trees and we use all the resources now, well, we're not maximizing intertemporal efficiency, even though we might be achieving allocative efficiency today. All right. So maybe it's better to wait and balance out the future needs. In your life, you can think about it as remembering that year 12 is a long year and you don't want to burn out early on. So you want to balance out today with the really important part, which is the exam. Okay, so as you may have noticed, dynamic and intertemporal efficiency are really considered over time. So it's changing, whereas allocative and productive efficiency are at a point in time. Okay. Now, finally, I want you to apply these, so we don't know where that is, and I want you to apply these to your life. I want you to think about, and I sort of alluded to some of these already, how would you achieve these 4 types of efficiency in your year 12 journey to come? So you can jot that down in your slides. All right, bye for now.